All right, welcome. Today, we're diving deep into a pretty detailed map of the afterlife. And this isn't just guesswork, this comes from literally thousands of firsthand accounts of what really happens after we die. I mean, it's the ultimate question, right? It's fascinated humanity forever. Is it really the end? Or a new beginning? Or maybe something else entirely?
So where are we getting all this from? Well, the answers we're exploring today come from the incredible work of Dolores Cannon. She spent 4 decades using deep hypnosis to document what her subjects remembered about their journey after death. Now, here's the key thing to get. This isn't about those near-death experiences where people see a light and then come back. Nope. Cannon's work is all about what people describe as the full journey, the real deal. What happens when you actually cross over for good.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. We're going to follow the soul's journey, step by step. First, the big picture concepts. Then, the moment of death itself, the different realms you can go to, the life review, and finally, how you actually plan your next life. All right, first up, before we dive into the journey itself, we've got to get our heads around a few key ideas, because they pretty much change how you look at everything. So, the first big idea, Earth isn't really our home. Think of it more like a school. A really, really tough school, actually. It's the one place souls come to learn the hardest lessons of all. Things like emotions and what it feels like to have limitations. And if you really think about that, it changes everything. The conventional view is that your body is you. But in this view, nah, your body's just a costume you wear for a while. Life isn't the ultimate reality. It's more like a play. And death? Well, death isn't the end. It's just you exiting the stage. Okay, so we've got the big picture. Life is a play. So, what happens when the curtain falls? The accounts of that moment are incredibly consistent. You know what's amazing is that across all these thousands of sessions, people described the same exact sequence of events. First, they feel this intense cold. Then, boom, they're instantly standing beside their bed, looking down at the body they just left. And the feeling isn't fear or sadness. It's this huge sense of relief, of freedom, and this deep longing to just go home. And right then, a greeter shows up, maybe a guide or a relative who's already passed on. And this brings us to a really comforting point in all of her work. You are never alone, not in life and not in death. A guide, a guardian angel, whatever you want to call them, they're with you for your entire life, and they're waiting right there to meet you when you cross over. So, you might be wondering, what makes it final? What's the point of no return? Well, they call it the silver cord. It's basically this energetic tether that connects your spirit to your physical body. It's what lets you travel in your dreams at night and still get back. But at the final moment of death, that cord is severed. And once it's cut, you can't go back. All right, so the cord's been cut. You're officially on the other side. Where do you go next? Well, it turns out it's not a one-size-fits-all destination. It all comes down to your vibration. So her subjects consistently talked about 3 main places you can end up. There's a lower astral plane for souls that are really negative and confused. They often don't even know they're dead. Then there's the middle astral, which is where most people go. It's beautiful, kind of what we'd think of as heaven, where you reunite with loved ones. And then there's the upper astral, which is like the university of the afterlife. It's all about learning and healing. And this upper astral plane, it sounds absolutely incredible. They describe places like the Healing Temple, this amazing dome of pure light where you go to cleanse all the trauma from your past life. There's a tapestry room where you can see this giant living fabric that shows how every single life is connected. And of course, the library, which holds every piece of knowledge that ever was or ever will be. Okay, so once you've settled in and maybe gone through some healing, every single soul goes through this critical stage, the life review. But it's probably not what you're thinking. You don't stand before some scary, bearded figure on a throne who's going to pass judgment on you. That's not how it works. Because the only person who's going to judge your life, the only one who has that right, is you. So how does that even work? Judging yourself. Well, it's profound. You don't just watch your life like a movie on a screen. You relive every moment. But here's the twist. You experience it from the other person's perspective. You feel the exact joy you brought someone, and yes, you feel the exact pain you caused them, as if it happened to you. And that feeling, right there, is where karma comes from. See, it's not some cosmic reward and punishment system. It's you
after feeling the ripple effects of your actions, who says, whoa, I have to make that right. I need to balance this. It's an internal drive. So, that intense desire to make things right, to learn the lessons you missed, that leads you straight into the final part of this whole journey, planning your trip back. And this is not a random lottery, not at all. You sit down with your guides and you meticulously plan out your next life like a script. You figure out what karma you need to balance, what lessons you need to learn. You even make contracts with other souls who agree to play the parts of your parents, your spouse, even your enemy. You choose it all, right down to your body and how you'll eventually leave. And then you come back in, the blinders go on, and you forget the whole plan so that the game can feel real. So, what's the point of all this? Why is knowing this so important? Well, according to Dolores Cannon, the whole reason this information is coming out is to get rid of our fear of death, to help us see life not as some random, chaotic accident, but as a beautiful, purposeful journey that we designed for ourselves.
When you boil it all down, it comes to this one powerful idea. There's only one person writing your story, directing your movie, and playing the lead role, and that person is you.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. If your life right now is a play that you carefully wrote for yourself before you got here, what's the main lesson you wanted to learn in this particular act?